What's up, guys? In today's video I am learning how to do finger sticks while in my phlebotomy class. So here is me doing my finger stick.
Oh, I barely felt that. I was like, is it gonna feel like a regular one? Milk bee.
And then wipe off that.
I was thinking it was gonna feel like the normal size ones, and no, that's really small. I barely felt that. Okay.
Can I switch hands to massage?
Whichever works for you. Yeah, you gotta do what works best for you.
Look at my blood.
Like I said, I'm gonna give y'all pointers on things, but
I was nervous. I'm like, what if you use like a normal shot? And no, it's barely there.
Like I said, even down to tying the tourniquet. As long as you're getting the tourniquet and it's going in the right direction and you can one-hand it, you don't have to do it that way. It's just, you gotta do it like with again, putting the.
Oh, I have to keep wiping it. So
No, I just was wiping it off.
Oh, okay, alright.
All right, and then don't forget to put your sharps in the.
Drop your blood. So I did all this while I was in high school. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool.
Motions, or you can do. I'm just a circular person because I'm old and that's how I learned it. But we're not. Of course, I'm not doing that right. I'm letting them dry. And so here's my thing. So you got to make sure your bevel's up. You got your safety. Everything's ready to go. Should have got one of those tubes or whatever. So one of the things that you want to make sure you do when I'm talking about anchoring the vein, remember how it was saying yesterday the vein could roll? When I anchor, I'm anchoring a lot lower than where I'm going to stick, because if I'm anchoring right here, what's going to happen?
You might stab yourself.
Yeah, they flinch and I stab myself, or when I pull out, I might accidentally stab myself. So when I'm anchoring the vein, that means that I'm pulling so I find where the vein's going and I pull. Like I put my thumb there and I kind of pull it tight, the skin a little tight, so that a way it holds it in place, hopefully. Thank you. So I'm anchoring my vein. I had already found where I was going. Now, a lot of times what you're going to do is, if you see it or whatever, that's good, but you want to make sure you're either, like I said, you may use a freckle, you may use, you just keep your eyes in that same spot and use your peripheral vision to bring everything over. But you're going to go in, say about a 30-degree angle. I think it tells you for sure, maybe 30, 40-degree angle. And I told y'all, I'll use my fingers a lot to anchor, right? So like what I've got going on right now is I've got my fingers sitting here to help me not be all over the place. So when I go in, again, watching my angle, you see how my angle is to the arm? Everybody see that? Mm-hmm. All right. So then I pulled it and then I'm gonna stick. So when I go in, I've gone into it. So now I know I just went past the opening. Then I usually will drop the angle of it a little bit and then advance just a little bit more. And then what you need to do from this point is change hands. But again, if you change hands and do like I tell you with using your fingers to anchor it, if you're holding it like this, it's going like that, right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm holding my fingers like this, it's not moving as well. Because then this is the part where you've got to take typically your order of draw, the blood's coming in, and then depending on if I've got an invert or not, blah, blah, blah. Let's grab this one. Because again, blood's not coming out until I put this in there, and it's only going into the whatever. Okay, and now I'm ready to come out. And I didn't get a 2x2, but pretend like this is my 2x2. So the next little thing is you got to be ready to kind of do a pull out and go down real quick. Because again, we don't want them to bleed to death, right? So even though, we just don't want blood to go everywhere. So at this point, I'm going to get ready to come out. And this is where y'all got to be, I think, probably the most careful, is because you don't want to obviously stick yourself. So you're ready, you've got it ready, and you're going out, down. And then at this point, I'd say, can you hold this for me? Safety. And then come back. And a lot of times I will, just for like a pressure dressing, if everything looks okay, I will fold my gauze over like that and then put the Band-Aid on top. And like I said, y'all don't have to, when you're doing it for practice right now, you can reuse that same one. Okay, so I don't done it, I'm pulling, holding taut or whatever the skin. You're gonna do the same concept, you're still going in the same way, advance a little bit lower. What the good thing about using the butterflies is that you'll see blood come back right there. Okay. So you'll know you're there, kind of thing. Like The other ones, you don't get no flashback of blood.
Okay.
You're just like, you're ghost in the wind here. If you hit it, you hit it, and you find out when you put the tube on. But if there's blood, and a lot of times you can see like a little, like a movement with it, I may make you do it the first time, because the worst part is holding those, and then, or I may have to help you try to get this on, because again, it's a little bit different when you've got this piece right here and you can kind of hold it, but with this one dangling around, it's like you're trying to, you see what I'm saying? So I may check it for you to just let you see it kind of come down through. But if I see blood come back in there decently, then I'll call that as a successful stick tube.
Okay.
Because it is there, it's just between making you go all through the, and then the same thing. What I will do with the butterflies though is, again, ask y'all to have a 2x2 ready just for the needle, because when you go to pull out, so you're gonna pull it out and you're gonna put your thing down. A lot of times there's a dollop of blood, like a little blood ball on the end of it, and I'll have you kind of tap it on the 2x2 just so when you go to pull it, it doesn't splatter. Because on these, it doesn't do that. But on this, for whatever reason, there's a little ball of blood on the end of it. So I'll have you tap the 2x2. And then remember on this one, again, you're holding it out from you, and then you pull down to secure that needle.
And that is it. That's all we learned
And then
today.
just follow it.
And yeah, like and subscribe. See ya.